Hey guys, this is Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. I've got BattlBox mission number 89 here that I wanted to share with you today. But before I get into that, I want to give a special shout out to the Smith family who was kind and considerate enough to send us an email and they gave me permission to be able to share that with you. And the email was very touching, to be honest with you, because it really hit us in the heart. According to the email, their family was going through a tragic time, and it was fragmenting. The family was fragmenting, and mom and dad was having a hard time trying to figure out what they could do to bring them all back together. And a friend of theirs turned them onto the magazine, and reading one of the issues, they discovered BattlBox. And through that article in the magazine, they reached out and they become subscribers to BattlBox. And according to mom, they asked me not to use their first names, but according to mom, BattlBox actually was the catalyst to bringing their family back together, or a cohesive moment. They could find a common denominator. They got their kids out in the wood. Their children are 10, 12, and 14. And there's 2 boys and a girl. And it was the items in the BattlBox that actually got them together. And they weren't really woodsy folks at all. But BattlBox introduced them to the outdoors, and that was about 4 years ago from what I understand, and they have been subscribers ever since, and I thought that was pretty cool. We're often asked, who is BattlBox for? And I've said, whether you are a novice, which these people were, and it had the effect that we hoped that it would, or you are a seasoned veteran. There's something for everybody. Now, for this family, it was an introduction to the outdoors, and through their experience, they've grown exponentially. So thank you for writing us, and I appreciate it very much, and I'm glad that it worked out that way. So now, let's get over there and check out mission number 89. And as always, BattlBox has a 4-tier system. You can get in the basic box for $29.99, the advanced box for $59.99, the Pro box for $109.99, and the Pro Plus, which is also the knife of the month, for $159.99. And it's always a great bargain for the investment that you make. So let's just get into this right away. The first thing in the basic box is from a company called Pocket Shot. And I was introduced to this little gizmo back when we did a review during the 2018 Gear Review Expedition with Nathan Masters. I interviewed him and had a very great conversation with him. I learned so much about slingshots at the time. He was actually a champion slingshot guy, and he actually, we not only reviewed those, but during that interview he mentioned this Pocket Shot, and at that time I think that they were getting ready to do a collaboration, which I don't think it ever came to fruition. But I started looking at those. Actually, others on our staff started looking at these things, but it's a very neat little product. It's a slingshot with a pocket and a ring, basically, and you shoot round projectiles with the particular system that they've sent here to you. They give it a value of $24.95, which to me that's a bargain for what this can do, because I mean, not only is it fun, but you can take small game with this. And if you upgrade and get the whisker biscuit and the arrows, the takedown arrows, and the release, you can actually take some larger game as well. Now, it's not recommended anything over 45 yards, and then when you're using this, you know, they recommend do not pull it any further than 4 or 5 inches to let her rip, and it'll do the job for you. It's a great ad. You know, I think it's pretty cool. USA made, and that was something else that was asked of us. What is the percentage of USA made products? Well, there's 6 different products in this particular box. 4 out of the 6 are all USA made. The pocket shot happens to be one of them. We're going to call this 25 bucks. That's pretty good. Now the next item, you know how I feel about anything that is first aid related, especially for emergency wilderness first aid. Maintenance, you know, is important, but not near as much as the emergency first aid. Now this comes from Rescue Essentials, and it's called the Battle Bandage. They give it a value of $18.59, something like that, and we'll call it $19. But this is a particular bandage that kind of goes above and beyond. It's not quite like an Israeli bandage. It doesn't quite do the work of a tourniquet. So this is kind of the intermediary that bridges those, because of the simple fact that it has an 8-inch gauze with a see-through elastic wrap that allows you to monitor and keep an eye on everything that's going. And this wrap, it has an adhesive that doesn't leave a film on your arm, but yet it does a very, very good job. Now I'm not going to open it up because it's the only one that I have. But Curtin 1776 actually has some demonstrations on this, so you might want to check him out to look at this. But anytime that you can put in an emergency bandage like this in your kit, you are adding a life-saving component that hopefully you never have to use, but if you do, you've got it. All right, so that's a great ad. USA made again. Then the third thing inside of the basic box comes from Decibels, and it's a custom molded earplug. Now, I have been hammered, maybe even hounded about wearing earplugs throughout my life. I've been a musician since I was young. I've been a professional musician since I was a late teenager. And never have I ever worn earplugs. I just never gotten used to it. You know, I'm still not wearing inner ear monitors whenever I'm playing on the stage, and people around me have. And my drummer, just this past week, we played an outdoor show and everything was turned up, and my amp happens to be situated about 4 feet away from him because we have a small footprint with a 3-piece band. And after the show, he's going, "My God, man, I can hardly hear out of my left ear." And that's where I was situated with him. And he said, "I'm going to switch back to my inner ear monitor because I don't want to go deaf." All right, there are things that can compromise your hearing. When I was in the military, you know, you're downrange, and you know, all the loud explosions, all the rapid gunfire that is constant. I did notice that, you know, it sounded like I had cotton in my ears after a while. And if you are a shooter, if you are a recreational shooter, or you are a hunter, if you happen to work in a manufacturing environment where machinery is always hammering in the background, or if you happen to be a musician also, that you need to cut down some of those decibels, this little package right here comes with these custom molded earplugs that you put in boiling water, and they soften. You put them in your ear, and they become customized to your particular ear canal. They have different types of inner ear, I'll call them cones, that you can fit for your ear. It has a pouch that it all goes into. And again, I think I mentioned this, but it'll protect your ears up to 31 decibels, and that's a pretty good job. They give this a value of $25.99, and again, remember, you got into the box for $29.99, so we're at 25 here. We'll call that 51, 61. That would be $70 so far, and you got in for $29.99. And again, this is a USA made product. Great product that can fit a lot of people's needs. All right, so now we're going to go on to the advanced box, which really stoked me when I saw this. But you know, when you're out in the bush and you are processing game, you know, what do? You know, you might reach for your pocket knife, you know, something like this, and you're processing your game, and then you're probably wiping them off on your pant leg, you know, and because you're in the field, you know, who carries around a sanitized alcohol rag? I don't know anybody. And I've been guilty of doing this, going straight from that, going over and maybe washing it off just a little bit with my canteen, and then processing some vegetables or just going throughout the meal. Man, that is dangerous. And I have a friend that actually processed a beaver and washed his knife off and started doing everything else in camp, and he ended up with giardia because he did not clean his knife properly. So what I'm getting at in the advanced box this month from Dead Fish Company, and we have learned to love dead fish, is the Wedge Alpine foldable chef knife that I have right here in my hand. This is a neat add to your cook kit because it takes away that opportunity for cross-contamination if you just leave this in your cook kit and you decide this is what I'm going to use to process my meals with, not process my field game with. You'll never have that cross-contamination. But this is a great little knife right here. It reminded me of a straight razor, the way it comes out and the way that it looks. And we've actually, I can't remember the company, but we actually reviewed another knife that looked something like this. Maybe it was a Gerber knife, I can't remember. But I liked it also, but it was just too short and too thick for me to be able to say, yeah, we're going to put this in a cook kit. However, this guy right here, that's exactly where this is going to go. It's got a liner lock in it. It's made with German stainless steel, and they call this an African rosewood. And I know the name, they put the other name in here. Let me see, what's it say? What's it say? Well, who knows? I know they call it African rosewood. And the knife is rock solid. And I've heard a couple complaints. I did see a video by a chef. I don't know where we got that at, but somebody sent me this video of a chef that was using this knife, and his two complaints was, number one, that the edges are way too sharp on the wooden scale here. That's an easy fix. You've heard me say before, every knife that you buy, you should customize it to be able to fit your needs. And what we'll do is we will just sand that sharpness down. It is a little sharp, and it could get a little hot in your hand. But the other thing is that he couldn't chop his vegetables the way that he really wanted to because his knuckles hit the ground. Well, how about just adjusting it like this, and I could do anything that I want with it, you know? And if nothing else, I don't have to be a chef out in the bush. That's not what my thing is. My thing is getting it done right, and this blade is going to do it. It's super sharp, right out of the box. Everything from Dead Fish is. Here goes some more sacrificed hairs. One of the other things here, I meant to bring a ferro rod with me when I did this, but the spine, the 90-degree spine, perfect. Perfect for using your ferro rod. Perfect for shaving, making shavings for your kindling or for your tinder, you know, putting in your bird's nest. This is a great knife here, so I give this dude a big thumbs up, and it will go in our camp kitchen, and it'll stay there permanently. They give this a value of $60, and to me, that's great. So we were $70 over here plus $60, that's $130, and you are in it for $59.99. Another great bargain. This happens to be one of those things that is not all USA made, but it's a great company. Dead Fish has put some really great products in our hands through BattlBox, and I appreciate that. All right, we're going to move on to the Pro Box, which costs you $109.99. And this is called the Nikron H35 1000 lumens headlamp. You know how I feel about headlamps. I'm not going to take it out of the box because, again, Curran does a great job of this. But this is a 1600 lumen twin engine lamp that is made out of aluminum. It's not very heavy at all, but it's rock solid. I have personally broken some plastic headlamps. You're not going to do that with this. And at 1600 lumens, you're going to light up your camp. You're going to light up your trail. It's a great ad. You know, what I really like about this is that the water resistance that it provides you. I've also ruined headlamps, you know, in the rain, just in the rain itself, in a driving rain, having those on. You're not going to do that with this. This is a great headlamp. It's not going to give you headaches. It's got a nice swivel on it. The headbands are rock solid, to things don't move around on you. They give this a value of $69.90, so we'll just call it another $70. We were at $130, so that puts us at $200 so far. And again, this is another product that is not made in the USA, but it's still a rock solid offering. Now we're going to move on to the Pro Plus, which when I saw that this was in here, we were wondering if we were ever going to see anything in BattlBox from this particular company. This is M3 Tactical. M3 Tactical makes knives for makes knives for operators, first responders, people that are in tactical situations, and you know, they are very, very good knives. This happens to be the M3 Force Recon. This is a BattlBox exclusive, and it comes with a Kydex sheath. I wish I could read this a little bit better. CM MD2 blade steel, full tang, G10 scales, overall length 7875, or excuse me, yeah, that's it. Blade length is 3.375. Thickness is 0.178. Overall thickness with the handle is 0.456, it looks like. Said Kydex sheath, and it is a BattlBox exclusive. Now, one of the things that I would mention, because I heard Curran do this, and we've seen people cut themselves with knives these smaller knives coming out of a Kydex sheath, is that you should use your thumb to push that sheath until you hear it pop, and then you can draw your knife. We've seen it happen where people grab it like this and yank it out, and next thing you know, they're cut down to the bone on a couple fingers. Be careful with this knife because it is super sharp, right? All their knives are super sharp, and they are designed by people that actually use these in a tactical situation, teaching defensive classes. You know, you got to get on their website and check it out here. But this particular one was designed by Hunt Thornhill, and Hunt is known for his knife skills. Very, very cool. Now, they give this a value of $189.99, and I know some folks wrote us and wanted to know if we thought it was an inflated price. I would say no, because of the reputation of the company, the reputation of their knives, and the product itself. This is a super duper blade in a lot of senses, okay? They call this a defensive style tactical knife. Now, to me, yes, this is 100% tactical. And I would be limited in the areas out in the woods that I might take this out for, because can you use it for processing wood, or excuse me, processing game? Yes. Would I use it to baton wood if it was the only knife that I had? Yes. Because you've heard me before say that the best survival knife that I've ever had was the one that was in my possession when I was in a survival situation. Okay. But would I take it out with that specific purpose in mind? No. However, this would make a great addition to any defensive line of equipment that you have in mind. It's super sharp, super handy, comfortable in the hand. You can tell that the guy that designed this actually uses this knife. So we're calling it at $189.99, $190. We are at $200. That makes this $390, and you are in it for $159.99. Again, BattlBox has got something for everyone. Now, I'll just make mention of this because of what I said at the very, very beginning. You know, from the novice to the veteran. This is a veteran style knife for a guy that might be an operator or a first responder and wants to have a quick deployed defensible knife. Now this sheath is either made for hanging from your neck as a neck knife, or you'll have to modify it and buy some other things for it. Now I don't know what they have on their website, but I could see this being a scout carry in the back, or maybe even a front side carry, something like that, to where you've got to grab it quick and to deploy it. Great BattlBox this month, mission number 89 for July. Now before I get out of here, just want to make mention that Decibels also provided a 30% off coupon for future purchases, and then Dead Fish also gives us a 25% off store-wide code, right? Anything you want to buy from Dead Fish, and if this is the first thing you've ever seen from Dead Fish, let me tell you, they've got some great stuff. We've seen a butcher knife set, this off my memory, a butcher knife set, and we also saw a modified cleaver is what I've always called it. Both of them are hanging on the magnet in my wife's kitchen, right? She doesn't usually snatch stuff out of our warehouse, but when it comes to Dead Fish knives, she's on it. However, we're going to arm wrestle over this guy here, and she's not near as big as what I am. Want to say thank you very much for your support, for watching the videos, and for reading the magazine, and for all your comments. I appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, and when you do, your name will be put in our daily or monthly database for our giveaways that we give away every month. Tell your friends about us too. Till next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.